Here, let me talk about why the variety of material increases. Human beings have made use of materials in their long history, not only for machines, but architecture and other tools. If everything could be made from a single material, there would be no need to argue about materials. Of course, this is not the case in reality. Human beings have required a wide variety of properties in materials. For example, weight, lightness, hardness, softness, rust resistance, shape and size, ease of processing, and beautifulness. These requirements often include contradiction. For example, strong materials are needed to make a robust product, but in order to process it, the material needs to be soft. Human beings have always been searching for new technologies related to materials. This can be easily understood by simply looking back at the history of materials. In the past, the main materials for humans were stone and wood. You know that we used these materials to make simple tools. Then, they began to make buildings made of stone and weapons carved out of stone and wood. Intricately crafted wood and brick buildings have also appeared. You may notice that designers in those days were required less knowledge of materials. That is much simpler than the current knowledge. Now, a variety of metallic and non-metallic materials, which are also used in machines, have emerged. In particular, metal materials are growing the variety of materials. Pure metals are generally weak and unusable. The metal materials we see in our daily life are alloys, pure metals melted with other metals. The metal materials that we should be familiar with in machine design practice are, of course, alloys. For example, we use a metal called iron in a variety of applications. Here, you should be noticed that the materials we call just iron is an alloy made by adding carbon, chromium, or nickel to pure iron to make it stronger. There are infinite number of varieties of metals to be dissolved into a pure metal under ratios. Metallurgy may be a research field that aims to create new materials that are useful for human beings from the infinite varieties. I am sure that researchers in this field are working day and night on the materials of their respective fields. This means that the variation of materials are fated to increase unlimitedly. It is important to catch up with the ever-increasing information on cutting-edge materials. However, in many cases, the primary goal of machine design is not to find or apply new materials, but to achieve a design that realizes the optimal balance of QCD as introduced before. So, detailed knowledge and theory of the most advanced materials is often not essential for machine design.